Hey guys, welcome to today's podcast. I'm going to talk a little bit today about aspiring MSLs or Medical Science Liaisons. If it's your first time joining, welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name is William Solomon. I'm the founder of the ACMA, the first and only accrediting body for MSL and medical affairs professionals, as well as we do credentialing and certification for pharmaceutical sales reps, specialty sales reps, as well as reimbursement and prior auth specialists. So, one of the questions that I often get is I'm an MD, I'm a PharmD, a pharmacist, I'm a PhD, I am a physician assistant, and I want to become a medical science liaison. And I'm applying to a lot of positions. What do I do? How do I get into these roles? They're challenging roles to break into. And the question I always pose back is, are you getting interviews? If you're getting interviews, what percentage of those interviews are you not hearing back from? Because if you're getting interviews, that means your resume is in good shape. But if you're not getting the position or getting a call back, that means you're doing something wrong in the interview. And I actually wrote an article that gives you free advice on how to ace your MSL interview. And I'll put that in the link below that you can click on and gain access to. And it gives you real practical steps you can take for the interview. But let's even say you can't get the interview, right? You can't even get the actual interview. And you're just not getting anyone getting back to you. It's all crickets. What do you do? The key here is that, remember, to be able to get the interview, your resume has to be in good shape, but you have to be able to stand out somehow. Something about you has to scream out to the hiring manager very quickly that this is a person that, even though they don't have the experience as an MSL, can hit the ground running. They can hit the ground running. Now, there are some folks out there that really, and for all intents and purposes, and from my perspective, are trying to scam people, make a quick buck on your desperation to become a medical science liaison. And it's sad from my perspective, because at the end of the day, there's so many factors and variables involved in you to be able to get a position. It's not just not one thing. And we're going to get into that in a second. But what you've got to do is you've got to put yourself in the position of a hiring manager, which I've been. I've been an MSL director, manager, and I know what they look for and how they scan resumes. And one of the things that you want is some type of designation or mark or something that tells them right away, just looking at your name, that, you know what, this person has went above and beyond. This person's committed to wanting to learn more about this space, even if they don't have the experience. That's why we're the only organization that has the research to back it, that over 90% of people that become board certified in medical affairs through the board certified medical affairs specialist program, or BCMAS, land a role in 3 months. Now, there's other organizations out there that have these courses. I've seen a bunch of them now come out. Keep in mind, the first ever program that was accredited was the BCMS program, now almost 10 years ago. So a lot of these programs coming out are really, from my perspective, copycat programs that are just trying to get you into their funnel, their marketing funnel, and then trying to push these courses on you. They're not accredited, and they don't give you a well-known designation, right? The only designation that's recognized even by the FDA, even by the U.S. Congress Health Subcommittee, is the BCMS program. And look, I'm not telling you this to tell you to enroll in the BCMS program. You don't have to enroll in the BCMS program. But I can tell you, I know what the data says, and I know from my experience working in the industry what I've seen. A lot of the people that are out there that are peddling these courses, and I'm not going to name who they are, but there's a bunch of them, some by recruiters, some by unknowns. You go to the website, you don't know who's behind it. Some by people that have been defrocked from the industry, some by people that have been around, since the 1970s, and the program hasn't been updated for 30 years, and they're trying to push these programs. Again, I'm not going to name who these programs are, but you can easily find out what I'm talking about. They've actually never been in these roles. They have very little experience, or the experience that they do have, they actually did a bad job in those roles. And so you have to ask yourself, who's behind these programs? who's behind the organization. And I only say this to you because from our perspective at the ACMA, our focus actually is to establish a benchmark of excellence for the MSL profession. Many people use the BCMS program to help them break down, and it works. And the reason why it works is because we have a team that builds out the curriculum and improves the curriculum every quarter based on data that we collect from over 185 different pharma and biotech companies. They tell us the metrics, the skills, the competencies that matter to them, and we use that to refine the curriculum. In addition to that, this program is recognized not just in the US, but worldwide, internationally, in over 80 countries. We work with over 250 pharmaceutical companies. This is our bread and butter. This is what we do. We're not recruiters and doing courses on the side. We're not people that do conferences and do courses or programs on the side. Building accredited, board certified programs is what we do. Other organizations out there say they have a board certification, but who's the board? Who's actually overseeing it and who accredits it? The BCMAS program is the only program that gives you credits from the Accreditation Council for Continuing Medical Education. It gives you credits from the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education. So you have to ask yourself, if you're someone that's looking to spend money on becoming an accredited board certified professional, where do you want to put your money? Where do you want to put your effort? And where are you going to get the best return on your investment? Without a doubt, from my perspective, it's the ACMA. And I'm not telling you this to put you in a funnel. I'm not telling you this to get you to enroll. I'm only telling you this because ultimately I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people who reach out to our team at the ACMA and they're disappointed. They've done these courses, done these programs, and they said no one cared. No one knew what they were. No one recognized that organization. So if you're going to invest in your education, in your professional development, why not go where the experts go, which is the BCMS program, which is the ACMA? If that was me and I was in your shoes, that's 100% what I would do. And look at who runs these organizations. Have they been MSLs? Have they been MSL directors? Have they headed up medical affairs? Do they work at a business partnership level with pharmaceutical companies? Do they have accreditation through high, well-recognized organizations? Does the FDA know who they are? Does the US Congress recognize them as a standard-setting body in the profession? All of these are things that I think are very, very important. So I think, from this video, what I want you to take away ultimately is you have to look. Are these people just trying to get you into their funnel, marketing funnel, and just trying to remarket to you and give you promises that probably won't materialize? Or are they actually getting you into a program that's going to set a benchmark? Today, the number one program, the most widely recognized program, is without a doubt the BCMS program. So I would urge my colleagues out there that are peddling these programs to really ask themselves, is this what's best for the industry? And to ultimately do what's best for professionals in this new generation trying to break in. One of the things that I'm really proud about the ACMA is we actually act as a rotation site for many pharmacy students in their last year of pharmacy school. They come do their industry rotation with the ACMA. And it's one of the things I'm very proud of. Why? Because it gives us a chance to give back to the community and to help train a new generation of pharmacists that maybe will eventually work in the pharmaceutical industry. So I always would ask yourself, who's giving me this information? Are they recognized? Have they done this role? Or are they just someone tangential? And who's behind the organization? In some cases, it's not clear who's behind this organization, right? So these are things that you have to ask yourself. All right, if you like this video, be sure to comment. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know what you think. If you've been, scammed by some of these companies, let me know. And let me know other types of topics you'd love to hear more about. All right, stay well, guys. Talk to you soon.